What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how you can make your very own J-weights for your decoys. Just like this, whatever size you want. So these are like 3 ounces I think. But you can make your very own J-weights. I cannot stand having tangled up cords, and I like to do junk myself. So these things right here are somewhat pricey when you get a bunch of them, and also kind of heavy. So I know these are 4 ounce ones, but they make 6 ounce ones if you're fishing or if you're hunting, you know, like deeper, bigger open water or something. You need some bigger ones. But what we've been hunting lately is shallow grass flats. So we're gonna put like maybe a 2-foot piece of string on here, and we're gonna tie it to the rubber stretchy part, and then we're gonna tie it to a J-weight. Now, we don't need a very big J-weight at all because it just goes down in that grass and it gets kind of hung up in the grass anyway. So really you just need something to get down there. And you know, even with a big wind, it's not gonna take our decoys off. So, I've made some J-weights before. I made this one not long ago, and I did it using this mold right here. So these were my first 2 molds that I made out of Bondo, and I formed a bunch of these, and I did it for really cheap because you can find lead in various places. You can buy lead for cheaper in big ingots, whatever they're called. But you can just go to scrap yards. You can find lead and buy it for cheaper. There's just various ways. Tire places sometimes will give you the old tire weights, or they'll give you some at least. There's plenty of places to source lead without having to buy it already formed into a J-weight. That's kind of expensive. So you can build a bunch of these for cheap. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna build some smaller ones. So we're gonna build some about this size, and I made this little form myself out of a piece of Luan. So I used, I don't know, 1/4 inch Luan. I drew out what I wanted, something that will still grab the keel of the decoy, but will be a lot smaller. And when you've got a couple dozen of these in a bag, like, that's gonna make a big difference. You know, you're gonna cut down on some weight. So you can see this is my regular ones that I have. It's kind of heavy versus this, which should be a lot smaller, a lot lighter, but will still get down into that grass and hold it. So I'm gonna show you how you can do this. Follow along. I'm gonna tell you real quick the things that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some Bondo or some type of body filler. This is U-pole body filler, and it works pretty good. Supposed to be better than Bondo, but it's cheaper than Bondo. Of course, with the body filler, you also need your hardener. You're also going to need your forms. This is what you're going to press down into the body filler once you get it how you want it. And you can use the ones that you've bought and just kind of make a copy of that, or you can make some yourself like I did. Now, if you make your own forms, one thing you want to remember is to make it out of something that you'll be able to get back out of the Bondo. Now, wood obviously would stick to this Bondo. We're going to coat it with Vaseline, and that'll help some. But even if some of it gets stuck in the Bondo, we can always take a torch and burn wood. My first ones I made out of cardboard. So I got some pieces of cardboard, taped them together, and you know, it was just a real rough mold. It worked really good. But it made a lot heavier weights than the 4 ounce store-bought ones. But it works. You can use cardboard. I use Luan on this go-round. Now, you're also going to need something to stir it with. You're going to need something to mix it in. And then you're going to need the final piece, which is what you're going to put your form into. So we're going to pour our Bondo into this container and then press our pieces, our forms, down in there. And then let it cure. So this will be kind of what holds our mold together, or you know, what we build it in. All right, the first step is to coat down our forms with Vaseline. We want to make sure we get them all covered in Vaseline, and that way when we press them down in there, it might make it just a little bit easier to get them back out. So let's go ahead and get these coated. The next thing we're going to do is mix up our body filler. So we're going to take our bowl that we got it in, we're going to take our body filler, we're going to pour it in here, put our hardener on there, mix it all together. Once we get it mixed, we need to move somewhat quick. I mean, it's not like imperative that you go super fast, but you do need to move kind of fast. So we're going to mix this up, pour it into our bowl and then press our forms into it, kind of wiggling them around a little bit, you know. So we want to make sure we ain't got like air bubbles up under there, and we want to make sure that none of it comes all the way up through our holes in our mold to where it would trap our piece from being able to come off of. All right, that's pretty much it. Since it's not a two-part mold, you know, you don't have to worry about just going halfway and then putting the other on top. We're just gonna let this dry. It's gonna be about a day or so to let this cure. We'll pull these forms out and then we'll cast us a few J-weights for our decoys. All right, so second day out here working on it, and we got it done. So, I mean, it's hard. We're gonna take it out of this plastic thing, and then we're gonna try to get these out. And then we'll sand it smooth so we'll have a nice edge everywhere. So let's see if we can get this out. There we go. Now we're going to sand this top smooth just to get us a nice flat edge, and then we're going to take some sandpaper and kind of smooth out down in there the best we can, and that should give us a nice spot to pour so our lead will just release easy. Make sure we don't have any lips hanging over the top, because if you do, you'll never get that lead out. So we'll probably chamfer the edge of this once we get it sanded smooth. All right, now we're just gonna take a knife and go around the edges to kind of smooth out, or make like a chamfer, just to make sure we don't have any edges that are kind of leaning over. Now the exciting part, so we've got our lead down here, a lead pot melting. Think it's gonna come out right?
I can't look.
Okay, we'll just keep holding it. Let's see what we got.
It dries that quick.
There are a couple of decoy weights. Right there.
How do they put
Right through our loop. Right through the top. Up and over the little thingy. And then tie this on here. There we go, we got a ready weight, and it's not that heavy. You can make these any size you want.